Hi, Retro Kev back again finally. Sorry it's been so long. You know what, life, busy. You know what it's like. Managed to squeeze in a holiday as well, which we managed to get away for a week, which is really nice. But you know, sometimes you come back from holiday more tired than when you went. But anyway, a change is as good as a rest, they say. But yeah, good to be back and away, and I'm going to get back into the old videos now. But as I said at the tail end of the last video, that I was going to do something on the ZX Spectrum, but and I've got my ZX Spectrum here. You know what? This is a very nostalgic computer for me. You know, it really got me into gaming. I managed to get hold of a Spectrum when I was about 14 years old, and it really changed my life. You know, I really was taken with it. And you know, we had so much fun getting the games, going to places like Woolworths, you know, Dixon's, all these shops. When I started to do the games, it was like, you know, it was like a kid in a brand new sweet shop with these games. But yeah, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the video today on the 5 games that really bring out the nostalgia for me when I sort of play them now. You know, not necessarily the best games. You know, there's some good games in there, but the games that when I load them and I play them, I really get the memories of when I was like a kid and what it felt like. You know, really good times. You know. Anyway, let's get to it. Right, let's get into it. Don't shoot me down because I'm not going to put these in any order apart from for the number one. I'm going to have that as probably is the best of the 5 games for me. But yeah, the other 4, I'm just sort of going to do random. But you know, I'm going to start with number 5, a Tick Attack. Now, a Tick Attack. When I started playing a Tick Attack when I was a kid, you know, it opened up the imagination. You know, it was like a really brilliant feeling playing a Tick Attack. It was such a fast and colourful game, zooming around the rooms. You know, I think you played as a surf wizard and a knight, I think it was, and you could choose a character, and then you had to find the 3 keys, 3 golden keys, I think. And you know what? It was a great game. You know, it just something about it. Everything moves so fast. I never ever completed it. You know, doing this video now makes me think. You know, I've got to try and get my Spectrum out and get on and complete Tick Attack. Brilliant game. I think it was out in 1983. Ultimate played a game. You know, it was just brilliant. One we talked about in the playground and we played a lot. Brilliant game. And then talking about Ultimate played a game, that'll be my next one. Number 4, Jetpack. You know, 1983 again. Jetpack was just a great game. You know, something about it. It was another game, very quick, very colourful, very smooth. Like for the Spectrum, the programmers they were really pushing it. You know, smoothness, the colours, and that little noise. And noises when the enemies you shot the enemies with the laser, or the enemies it clumped into you. That little sort of little noise that had sort of stuck in your head. And that game, you know, if I play Jetpack now, I really do sort of get that nostalgic feeling. It's like absolutely brilliant game. You know, so much nostalgia that game. And you know what? Then we go to number 3, which is Ant Attack. Now, Ant Attack for me was just a brilliant game. It's one of those games that the graphics, you know, they're not amazingly brilliant, but it's like at the time of gaming then, you really used your imagination. And you see the cover of Ant Attack. I think it's made by Next Generation Software. You know, you had that. It looked like the giant ant was coming over the wall of the city in the cassette cover. And when you're at that age, 14, I think it was, your imagination runs riot, and you start playing this game. You know, it's basically a white screen, really, with like the walls and little walls for the city and the ants. But you know, your imagination really took you to that place, and it was a tough game. I can't remember exactly, but I don't think you could play the joystick. Maybe someone can tell me if you were able to. But I remember playing that one on the keyboard, and you know, really tough game. You know, I can't remember how well I did it, but you know, for some reason, Ant Attack really sticks in my mind. It's when I think of ZX Spectrum, I think of Ant Attack. You know, in 1983 again. I think I was 14. But yeah, loved Ant Attack. I spent a lot of time playing Ant Attack. It was just another brilliant game. But now let's go to the penultimate one for me, which is this one really got all the people going in the school playground. Daley Thompson's decathlon. You know, Daley Thompson, we all know what was happening in the Olympics and everything. He was a really big character in the sport, and you know, when the game came out, Daley Thompson's decathlon. You know, everybody was anybody who had a Spectrum was playing that game. You know, everybody knows the stories about it. It was a button masher, damage your keyboard. You know, and it was like, you know, and I used to plug my joystick in, quick shot joystick. I had one just the same when I was a kid. I used to turn mine upside down, and bash it like that to sort of do the running and stuff. And I'm sure I knackered a couple of joysticks doing that. But that game was brilliant. It was like really well made. And I remember the thing about getting the angle right when you throw the discus. It was so easy to make a foul, and the hurdles was classic. Trying to get your jump right for the hurdles. And the minute you clumped into one of the hurdles, which I did all the time, you just literally stopped, and then you had to start the patter again to get the running up. But look, Daily Thompson's Decathlon, brilliant game made by Ocean. I think that was 1984, I think. But yeah, great times. I'm sure I played like over the summer that game. I played it all the time. It's amazing when you think about it because these games they weren't very deep, were they, or very long. But you play it and play it and play it and play it. Just the playability of these games. People can look back at them now, especially maybe younger people. They just wouldn't get it. But to us, these people, retro gamers like ourselves, it's a lot of it's in imagination, and that's what sort of turns into nostalgia now, I think, because you built up such a vision in your head of how it was when you played the games that it sticks with you for a long time into your older years, and really, really great time. And now we'll go to number one. This for me probably is like the ultimate game for me, made by Bug Bite. It's like Manic Miner. A lot of people, as in for the game, prefer Jet Set Willy, but for me, Manic Miner, when I first started playing that game, I loved that game. I don't think I ever completed it, or if there was a completing, of the game. But I know there was 20 caverns, and that intro music, as I'll show here, is the Blue Danube. I think it's a version of. That game. I spent a long time playing Manic Miner. It was, for me, the king of games. Talk about your imagination. When you went into those caverns, I was locked into it. And the good thing about games like that is, a game was a way of escaping for me. Sometimes things weren't always great as a kid. And for me, when you entered that world of gaming, you didn't think about anything else. So any issues you had in your life, any things that were not very nice, whatever, you just didn't even think about them. And I think that stands for gaming today as well, actually. Gaming can be a real sort of therapy in a way. If you just want to get your mind away from something, if you get a game that you really enjoy, you can really get into it for so long. And you come out of that and you think, oh God, I didn't even think about those other issues while I was gaming there. That's what's really good about gaming. And for me, when I was a lad at 14, Manic Miner was like that. It was a huge escape for me. I absolutely loved that game. You know what? And I'm going to have another play on it. I'm going to get my Spectrum out because just doing this video and talking about it just makes me feel nostalgic in general. But number one for me, Manic Miner, fantastic, brilliant. Anyway, that's my 5. I hope it's, as I say, it's not the best games. They were just the games that made me feel really nostalgic. When I play them now, I get that feeling, and that's what, to me, I said it before in my videos, it's all about, is the nostalgic feeling. It's really great. And Manic Miner for me, back in the day when I was a kid, and these other games I mentioned, the other 5, they are brilliant nostalgic feelings. But anyway, if you want to put in the comments yourself any of the games that you remember or the games you really love playing now on the Spectrum, just let me know. I'm always interested to hear what people are playing, especially on something like the ZX Spectrum. And yeah, and as for the next video, I might do something similar actually. I've always got my eye on the retro gaming budget side of things, and I'm going to do maybe a specific video on some of the stuff I've been looking at on budget gaming and Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe another one machine that was very console for me. It's very nostalgic. It's a PS1. I was an older person. I was an adult then, but PS1 it holds a lot of nostalgia for me as well. So I'm going to do a similar video on the top 5 nostalgic games for PS1. And if anybody wants to comment about that, even in this Spectrum video, about what you think and about your games, and I'll have a think about what I'm going to do, and I'll do that in my next video. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you're all well as usual. I hope you have had a good summer. And getting plenty of gaming in, whether it be modern gaming or retro gaming. And, we'll catch up soon. See you later. Bye-bye. If you like the content on this video, make sure to like and subscribe.